chapter 68. The chapter of the pen, containing 52 verses written at Mecca. The Bedawi entitled this chapter the chapter of the letter noun, noon, and faith. That is as much to say whale or great fish. Some other theologians say that noon is the name of the ink or the table on which the angels write the commandments of God. Others affirm that it signifieth the ink horn, but many of the Muslim theologians entitle this chapter the chapter of the pen. So, and let us remember the last two verses in particular on the evil eye, insanity, that sort of thing can be used to address that. The whole chapter can be used to treat crazy people, whether they believe in Islam or not. And the noon and meme letters in this chapter are very peculiar in their pattern, you could say. In the name of God, gracious and merciful, noon, I swear by the pen and by all that is written, that thou art not possessed of the devil through the grace of thy Lord. Thou shalt have an infinite reward. God hath created thee with a creation high and most illustrious. Thou shalt hereafter know, and the misbelievers likewise shall know one day, them among you that are ignorant. Certainly thy Lord knoweth them that are seduced, and them that follow the right way. Obey not the wicked. They desire thee to be more indulgent toward them, and themselves more mild toward thee. Obey not those infamous liars, those babblers, sinners, seducers, and wicked persons, full of treasures and children. When the mysteries of faith are related to them, they say that they are but fables of antiquity. We will put upon their noses a mark of shame and ignominy. We have tried them as gardeners when they have resolved in the evening to cut off the morning, following some fruits of their garden for their reflection, and have not said, if it please God. By night, while they slept, God sent fire into their gardens that consumed them. In the morning they called each other and said, come to put order to your garden, if ye desire to gather the fruits. They believed the poor would enter. They ran to drive them away, and found their fruits black, and their gardens blasted. Then they said, we are seduced, we are sinners. One of them said that it was requisite to praise God. Then they said, praise be God, we are great sinners. They approached each other and complained among themselves. They said, misery is upon us. We were in a great error. Peradventure God will give us hereafter more than the value of what we have lost. We must beg his grace. Thus God chastiseth on earth whom he pleaseth. But the torments of the other world are much more grievous. They that have his fear before their eyes shall dwell in gardens full of delights. Shall I entreat the good like the wicked? How can ye judge it? Have ye a book wherein ye read what pleaseth you? Have we promised to you any content at the day of judgment? Shall you have that day what ye have promised to yourselves? Acts of them who will be surety for their belief. Will their idols, partners, and companions of their be companions of their surety? Let them cause them to come, if they be true. Be thou mindful of the day when sin shall be detected, and the wicked shall be commanded to worship God, but they shall not be able to behold him. Their eyes shall be troubled with fear, and their sight covered with shame. They are enjoined in the world to worship his divine majesty, but they refuse to perform it. I will punish them by little and little. When they least think of it, I will defer the punishments of their crimes, because my wrath is strong. Dost thou demand of men any recompense for thy preaching? Are they charged with any expense? Have they in their power the book, wherein is the future, to write therein what they affirm? Attend the judgment of thy Lord, and be not like him that was swallowed of the whale. He invoked his Lord in his affliction. If his Lord had not sent him his grace, he should never have come upon earth. When he repented of his sin, his Lord pardoned and placed him in the number of the righteous. The misbelievers labor to shake thee through their looks, and that through envy they affirm that thou art possessed of the devil. When they hear thee read Al-Quran, it was not sent but to instruct the world. And the parable, as that teaching is going to be understood, although events like that could have happened, we're warned about having a secular life. We're warned about having excess, a life of excess, when others are needy and not being willing to give any of that. Rather have, there's a lot of people that will rather have people starve than give up some luxury, even if they be nearby.